Well, welcome everybody to our Shining the Light on the Community. We are here with Monique Grover, and she has a background as an AFPA certified nutrition and wellness consultant. She is an AFAA certified personal trainer and group trainer and certified life coach. She has a passion that lies in empowering individuals to break free from their limiting beliefs, guiding them to fall in love with who they are. And ultimately, she wants to help others so they can collectively amplify our love, expand our souls, and radiate the energy out into the world, creating a more vibrant and empowered collective. That's so awesome. Welcome, Monique.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your story? How did you get involved in this whole, I guess, mind, body, everything's connected, holistic mindset?
Yeah. I would say my journey started really 10 years ago, and it started more in the health and fitness industry. Getting my certifications as the trainer, the nutritionist, all of that. And throughout that journey, kind of also discovering and being influenced by a little bit of the negative side of the health and fitness industry, diet culture and having to, thinking everything's about body image and, just kind of more of that side of things. And that's kind of where the discovery of self-love kind of came into play as I was noticing how I was seeing the negative impacts of that realm, comparing myself and worrying about numbers and counting calories and macros and extra and all that kind of stuff, right? That goes into it. And it's supposed to be an industry of like health and wellness and fun, but really it was turning into this like toxic environment where it was not contributing to my health and wellness. So as I was kind of working through some of that and doing a little bit more on the inner healing side with the emotional work, inner trauma work, mindset shifts, things like that, I started really like seeing how I could incorporate both of those things together to support each other in a more holistic fashion rather than taking the potential negatives of those industries, you know, the toxicity of the self-help industry is what I like to call it. And instead being able to like really embody and understand fully like what self-love actually is, what self-care actually is, what health actually is, whether or not that's related to like achieving a weight loss goal or achieving a certain fitness goal or something like that. Like really just kind of embodying a more holistic sense with it rather than focusing on that aspect of it, which I feel like at first a lot of people get caught up in that, oh, but I got to do this to lose weight, or oh, but I got to do this to achieve something, rather than really focusing on themselves and how they feel. So that's kind of my background and how I got into all of this stuff. And throughout my journey, like I said, I've been doing a lot of emotional discovery work, really developing my emotional intelligence and understanding different mindset shifts and doing inner processing and really diving deeper into the subconscious layers of everything and discovering for myself how that has impacted my physical body as well, and vice versa, how my physical body is impacting my mental and emotional states. So for me, it's just been a really like all embodying, encompassing process of self discovery, which has led to the self love and acceptance and creating a life full of happiness, that we all so badly want.
That is awesome. That's really, really awesome. I think it's right up the alley of this group, the Sacred You community, you know?
Right.
Um, so let's say you're talking to someone who's in this environment. What would
Mhm.
be like one tip you can give them to kind of start the shift, to open up their minds a little bit that there's another way of being?
Yeah. I would say really going in and asking yourself, like, what is my why behind what I'm doing? Especially if we're talking about like something health and fitness related. Like a lot of people are like, oh, well, I want to lose weight because the doctor told me to, or because I'm don't like looking at myself in the mirror in a bikini, or because, there's some sort of external factor, right? And I tend to have people question, like, okay, what's your reason why behind that though? If your reason why is because you're trying to escape something or meet somebody else's needs, then one, is just going to be a lot more challenging to make happen. But two, you're not going to feel fulfilled once it happens anyway. So really going deeper and asking yourself, like, okay, why do I want to do this? Why is this important to me? What is in my highest alignment with my greatest good, regardless of anybody else? And that should be the driving force of you creating this healthy lifestyle that you want to live, based off of your own needs and nobody else's or societal needs.
Awesome. That makes so much sense. So what kind of programs do you offer?
So I offer basically just one-on-one coaching packages, different lengths of time, things like that, to be able to work with people individually and really create like a specific plan for them. So everybody kind of works on something a little bit different. Again, I kind of incorporate all three aspects of the emotional, mental side of things, the nutritional side, and the physical side. But each individual has their own set of goals and things that we're working on. So it just kind of depends on them. But yeah, I basically just do one-on-one coaching so far. But I do hope to expand to offer a variety of programs or group coaching programs later on as well.
I can so see that. I can see it. I feel like this is a movement. I really feel like this is going to be a movement. What do I want to ask? I don't know. I'm just like, this is just so resonating with me. I love talking about this whole thing. Who really inspires you?
Well, a lot of my journey has been heavily influenced by somebody locally that I work with, who I call my spiritual guide. Her name is Sharon Schwangler, and she has really helped me work on myself in terms of the emotional aspect of things. And she's been my guide for years, teaching me all this stuff about the emotional health and about the mental health, various meditation techniques, energy work techniques, things like that, to really get me to understand and start shifting the mindset from like seeing external reality as something that happens to us, rather, and shifting that to believe of external reality as something that I'm creating from within. So being able to make that shift into a little bit more of an empowering state, also acknowledging how that affects, other relationships, other circumstances in life, where I'm not just, we all tend to go in a little bit of victim consciousness of like, okay, well, this horrible thing happened or this happened or whatever, and I was affected by all of these things. And while that might be true, being able to make that shift to a more empowering state of, okay, how am I creating this reality? What is going on in the subconscious that is unknowingly manifesting these things? What actions and thoughts am I, taking or believing that are co-creating this, and being able to shift that from the inside out? And so she's been my biggest guide to be able to work through all of that. I also get a lot of inspiration from Mel Robbins. I just really love her. I love how real and honest she is, and how she just, although she doesn't go into anything too in depth in this realm, she very much embodies like being your true authentic self and encompassing a healthy mind, body, spirit, to be able to get to where you want to go and manifest the life that you want to manifest. And I just find that really inspiring.
That is awesome. So yeah, so this work seems like it's very, very deep and very, very transformational from
Yeah.
the inside out. And
Yeah.
it's awesome because that's so true. Our reality is really just our perception
Mm-hmm.
of what's outside of us. And we have the choice, is difficult as it can be, to choose how we respond and where we put our focus, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think it's so interesting because again, we think of it as something that like things happen to us, and to a degree they do, but we also just tend to get stuck in this like, oh, well, I'm just existing. I'm just going with the flow. I'm doing the thing I need to do. I'm trying to get a job. I'm trying to follow these steps. I'm trying to live by society standards and rules. And it's just not for everybody. You've got to find what's in alignment with your heart and go for it, because that's why we're all here. We only have one life to live. I might as well live it the way I want to freaking live it, and I want to be able to do that personally in a state of great health and abundance and love and happiness and manifestation. And that will just open up the opportunities for everything else, and spreading that type of energy out into the world will then allow that to be received back to me as well. So it's just creating that cycle of love and acceptance and happiness and abundance to share with everybody, where we can all pursue our passions. We can all feel good. We can all just be these empowered beings that we're meant to be, rather than just believing the things that we were all conditioned as children, which is just life.
Yeah. Yeah. So where can we find more information about you? Because I'm feeling there's a lot of people who are resonating with you and your energy and just your story and just your whole vibe.
Thanks. I do have a LinkedIn account. I will say I'm not like the best about being on that one. It's easier to contact me through my Instagram page or my Facebook page. So all of the Facebook and the Instagram are Our Untapped Potential. And then my LinkedIn, I want to say, is just my name, Monique Grover.
Okay. And all the links will definitely be put underneath the this live for everybody who wants to get in touch. And do you have any offers for anybody?
Yeah. So I basically, like I said, do one-on-one coaching. So of course we can talk about that if anybody's interested in that. And I have different like levels of programs. So like shorter programs, longer programs, things like that, just depending on the individual and what their needs are. And so anybody that, is interested in that from here, obviously will get in contact and let me know, and I'll give you a good $500 discount for any of those programs, just for being a part of this.
That's awesome. You guys take advantage for sure. For sure, for sure. And any last words of wisdom for anybody? Anything you want to share?
I would say listen to your heart and tap into the version of self that's been so badly wanting to be expressed, and see what comes from that. What aspect of self has been potentially suppressed? What aspect of self has been wanting to be voiced but hasn't been? What aspect of self has been living in fear and that's been limiting you in your external reality? How can I begin to empower, understand, and heal those aspects so that I can then create that life that I'm wanting to live, living in that state of health and happiness, and abundance. Yeah. And ultimately for me, it's just been about following my heart and discovering for myself what my heart even wants and what it's even asking of me, and I think that was the biggest like hump to get over, is like really understanding myself and working with myself in the way to get to that point of discovery, getting past the conditioning, getting past the limiting belief systems, getting my body in a state that's supporting me rather than hindering me, and yeah, being able to open that passion up and discover what it is that I do want to do with life, that I do want to impact, that what I want to do in the world or whatever. And same for anybody else of, okay, what is it that resonates with your heart and who do you want to be? And then once you figure that out, how the heck can you start creating that and manifesting that in your reality and truly authentically living it?
So how do you get in touch with your heart? if you're just starting out, you know?
Great question. Great question. I would definitely say starting with simple meditation practices tends to be the easiest way to begin getting in tune with the body. And simple breathing techniques, just a simple deep breath where you hold deep breath in, hold it for 4 seconds, long exhale out like you're blowing through a straw, hold for 4 seconds, and kind of repeating that to get your brain and body into that state of like peace and coherence. And so I tend to kind of label that state as like the receptive state. And so once we can get our bodies into that receptive state, then it allows the knowing to come up. And so we have our thinking brain, we have our knowing brain, which is our hearts. So if I can start to slow down and get that to get out of the way, that allows that knowing to come up for me to receive the information that I want to receive. And so even if you're going to be doing some sort of like self-questioning or self-reflection or inner discovery work, I think that's kind of the most important thing, is to be able to slow your breathing down, to get your brain to get out of the picture as best you can. And that takes practice for sure. It's definitely a skill. And being able to be open to that receptive state of the knowing from the heart, because to me, it's as if the answers just kind of come. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it came from, but it just kind of came. And then you begin to learn to trust over time those answers. And that's what, to me, developing your intuition and listening to your heart is all about. But at first, the mind is going to want to come in and question and kind of play tricks on you. So it does definitely take practice. It's something to be patient with yourself with, because like I said, your brain's going to come in and try to take over because that's what it's used to. And you have to train yourself and your body to get into that relaxed state of reception.
So basically what you're saying is the struggle is normal, and to struggle with like your brain and to kind of fight with yourself, that's all part of the process. So to go easy and have compassion, right, as you're going through it.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
And so now my other question is, so once you get in touch with your heart, how do you begin to trust that the information you're getting is, trustworthy?
Yeah. Yeah. Another great question. So, I do think part of this is going to be a bit of trial and error, and we have to start creating acts to be able to create trust with the self. So, yeah, I can do all the emotional and internal work, but if I'm not taking any action in external reality, then I can't really build that trust, and I'm not going to build concrete results. We like seeing results, our body likes seeing results, and so we create these patterns that almost prove to ourselves that story or that belief system. For example, if I believe about myself that I'm not good enough, that's my limiting belief, that's my story, right? Then I'm going to subconsciously create things in my external reality that prove that to me. Maybe I don't get a raise, or somebody breaks up with me, or I can't lose weight, right? Whatever the external reality thing is going to just keep showing me that internal belief system of I'm not good enough. So as I begin shifting to then shed these limiting belief systems and start listening to my heart of I'm worthy of love, or I am good enough, or whatever that new belief system is going to be, then I need to start taking actions to support that. So that might look like, if I want the belief system of I'm worthy of love, that might look like me doing a 5-minute meditation every morning where I'm looking in the mirror and telling myself that I love myself. That might look like me giving myself a spa day once a month. That might look like me connecting more with my friends, And so as we start discovering these things, we have to start taking small actions that we can implement to then prove to ourselves that this new belief system is in fact true. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense. Yes. Yes. Makes total sense. I'm going to check the Facebook group now to see if there's any comments or questions on here.
Perfect.
Let's see. Groups. I think I have this. Okay, awesome. So let's see here. No comments, no questions. But you guys, if you do have any comments or questions, please put them in. If you're watching the replay, say, hey, I'm watching the replay, and say hi and ask questions. So this has been a great conversation. Like I love going really deep. And that's why I love this community. And I'm so glad that you were able to come today so we can shine our light on you and you can share your expertise and your passion and your just information and wisdom and your story. And it's been really great. And I got a lot out of it. And I'm sure a lot of you guys got a lot out of it. And again, you guys, everything's going to be put in the links below, probably, within the next day or so, and get in touch and, join the community, say hi. So
Yeah,
thank you for
thank you so
being
much.
here.
Thank you so much for having me on. And I would love to be able to connect more with everybody. And I'm excited to look more into like the different groups and communities that you have within this community. And yeah, just be able to share the beautiful knowledge that I've already seen in my short time of being in the community with you guys. So I'm excited about that.
Awesome. So we'll see you guys soon. I'm gonna stop the live. I can stop the live. Where are you?